So we are here with Wim Deputter, a guy, a long-time friend, many years.
Many years, yes.
Yeah. We had a full day. Now he's living actually here for a month, like on a vacation, and we had a full day. Right? We went to the beach together today with families, and then we had training, and
Food in between,
food in between. Yeah,
coffee. Yeah.
coffee, and now we're in the studio for a podcast. Right after the night training.
Yes. Yeah.
We rolled a lot. We liked it. I really enjoy rolling with you.
Likewise, man. It's always
Yeah.
very relaxing.
Relaxing, yeah.
In the tiny holes. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had like 550 fights for the people that don't know. So you have a huge.
More 600, I think. Actually.
600 now, huh? 600 fights, man.
So I have somewhere on paper, but yeah.
First time I visited Belgium, I met you like you're a purple belt, and still then you were teaching at the school, right?
Well, it was still my coaches.
Yeah.
Ken, Jim at that point, and then there's a.
But you run the classes sometimes.
Well, it was around that period. He asked me, "Hey man, I don't feel so well. Can you maybe take over 2 months?"
Okay.
Well, and now we are still this like the forever 2 months. It's still going.
Everlasting,
Yeah,
everlasting 2 months.
Yeah.
And I remember that you were teaching at the school at the same time,
Yeah.
and I have a
teacher,
video.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. What kind was it like?
Well, in theory, physical education.
Okay.
That's what I studied. But in fact, there was no job in that. So sometimes I did everything, like cooking class, religion class,
Cooking class.
gardening. Yeah, everything. Like if you don't find a job, you do everything, right? So
Okay.
I teach everything. So in the end,
Interesting. You learn everything.
yeah, well, I force you into everything.
And I still remember vivid that in my memory that you like every weekend you never missed fights. You're going to tournaments and you're doing like as much as you could.
Yeah, those were the fun days, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And really funny it was one time that I asked you like how do you find this passion to fight and still fight on the time in competitions? And you told me something really interesting that stayed in my mind.
I don't remember actually.
You don't remember? You told me. I told you. How do you find like this passion to still compete? And you told me, you know, man, I really hate
Yes.
fighting. I was like, what? I mean, you have like some hundreds of fights, and you're still going on fights. How is it possible to hate it? And you told me that, you know what? I hate fighting on tournaments. Like, what is to waiting in a lane for 10 hours to fight, the anxiety and everything. But you know what I hate more, you told me? I hate more a tournament to go by and not compete, not being in.
Yeah, because you feel you missed out.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's the same. I still hate competing. Well, love, hate, because it's always cool to go away with the team, but I have to wait, the anxiety. And, well, the part I hated the most was I've never been afraid of fighting. There's nothing scary about fighting. Yeah? The only scary thing is to lose. I don't even care about losing. I just, like, the only really scary thing about fighting is you don't want to go off. You don't want to make a fool of yourself.
Yeah, that's the most scary part, I think.
But then I said, at least after a while, man, everybody's afraid of making a fool of himself.
Yeah.
But nobody really cares. That's what we talked about today also.
Yeah.
The only one who remember tomorrow that you lost is you.
Yeah, maybe your mother or father or maybe a member of the family, but they don't care.
Because you're a child, they always love you, so they don't really care.
You're always gonna love, yeah.
Or if you have a very big mouth and call everybody out and start making fun of each other and then do like the McGregor style, then eventually, of course, they will bite you in the ass, make a reel about you because they will get you back and they can see your shame forever because it comes at your feet, so,
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
But otherwise, man, look, everybody who competes will fight it, will lose at some point. The worst thing is like you go to a tournament and you lose the first fight. Doesn't happen a lot, but it happens. If it never happens to you, it means you didn't compete enough.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true to everyone. So who really cares?
How did you? Did you always didn't care about losing, or it came with the years of training and getting more mature in your fighting career?
I would say I have this mindset like. 2 months ago, 3 months, like this year, I don't know.
Like this
I got better in the sense like, okay, the early years I was mostly into MMA. So I considered Jiu Jitsu and grappling, it's like, it's training for MMA. So I don't care, man. I'm an MMA fighter. What do I care with those grappler guys? Like, it's playing.
I still remember
Yeah, that's
your
what
fight in What was the name of the organization? Shuto
I
Belgium,
did shoot at it and won, like everything was around back then, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you fought in M1 in Japan or Korea?
Korea, they don't
Korea.
fight, yeah.
In the same card as Fedor.
No. Federer was there as like a special guest.
Special guest.
Yeah, but I have another interesting story. I fought Cage Rage once, yeah, in Ireland, and McGregor was in my undercard. And I didn't know. So they take me to a poster a few years ago. It's like, hey man, look at this. McGregor found your undercard. So McGregor has to thank me, because I made his name. Yeah.
Maybe let you sign his gloves.
I should.
Tell me about Korea because you told me something interesting. When you landed, you were welcome.
Well, it was like okay. In Belgium back then, nobody really cared about MMA. It's like the marginal, stupid guys who like to do blood, like the. Everybody, it's like really frowned upon MMA. But then you go to Japan, to Korea, and it's Asia. You arrive from the plane, and the whole crowd, and like the women are like, it's like, man, that's what it feels to be like a star, Because in the end, we're not really stars, just like guys fighting, and they're like, there, man, you feel like a star. The interviews come, the whole crowd comes, and you're like, okay, good. And then, unfortunately, like 20 minutes later, Federer's plane arrived, and then all the women and all the people go like, and they're like, okay, that's it.
That's the 10 minutes.
20 minutes of fame. 20 minutes. Don't take away my 10 minutes. Yeah.
How did the fight go?
I lost.
It was a good fight for you?
To be honest, no. It's like, okay, how can I say? I was overwhelmed, to be honest. You're there. It's more than that, man. Like back then, how can I explain this?
Is it the nerves different?
No, well.
Is it like, I mean, the nerves of fighting in a foreign country and like the nerves fighting in MMA, not in grappling because you get passed over the face and you can get damaged.
With this whole MMA thing, I always felt like a fish out of the water.
Yeah.
Because it starts, how does it start?
Did you start with MMA? Or did you start your career with
No, I always did martial arts. And my idea was like to be like Bruce Lee, to be the complete fighter, train everything, be the jack of all trades.
Yeah.
In the end, but then they find, okay, Jiu-Jitsu is good, and then, okay, we find Jiu-Jitsu, it looks a bit better, and this could be my passion forever. At the beginning of my son BJJ, like, okay, it's just like learn to fight on the ground.
Yeah.
But I also met in those days Eric Paulson, know those guys?
Yeah, Eric Paulson,
Eric Paulson. It's like, okay. So they're like the in-between generation between
Cats wrestling.
Yeah, between the Bruce Lee generation and the Jiu-Jitsu BJJ generation.
Yeah.
Okay. So then when I started MMA, the thing was in the beginning, I was like, okay, you hear, blue belt, yeah, you don't use the white belts. And my Thai boxing coach, I always felt like I'm Shitty striker. No, you're good. Okay, I guess I'm good. Okay. And my BJJ coach, yeah, you're really good. Okay, I guess I'm really good. But we never met any Russians. We never met any like Eastern European guys, really wrestlers. Yeah. So all we faced was what like other Belgians who were a bit the same. Yeah. And we meet some Dutch guys who were good strikers, but not really grappling back then. Yeah. So I feel like, okay, man, I'm an imposter. I cannot do this. But okay, I beat one guy. I beat two guys. I feel like also, man, I'm lucky. And I started to believe, man, maybe I'm really good. And then I felt like a Swedish guy, Osama Aziz was his name. I was like, I googled him. It's like, amateur boxing champion, Olympic wrestler, Jiu-Jitsu, no experience. It's okay, I'm a blue belt, what the fuck can happen?
You fought him?
I fought him, yeah, but it was like from Hilti. And then back then, Per Eklund was in his corner.
Oh,
okay. So I was like, okay, maybe, Hilti BJJ?
Yes,
it was like
course,
the early years, yeah. It's like, man. I looked the guy's ears in the corner. So I guess this might be a problem. But then
where was the fight?
In Leuven, in my city. Yeah. Okay. So I get beaten up, but like beaten up in a sense like I lost completely, got bashed up, but I defended myself, so I didn't went KO, didn't have too much damage, but I completely lost them. So I was saying, okay, look, maybe there's something more to this than just it goes deeper than how can I say this? Like bigger fish in the pond, yeah. But okay, they keep talking to your coaches like, okay, you're good, you can do this, and in the end, man, I just got carried away with it because okay, they get other opponents, and every time they promise you, yeah, man, if you beat this guy, you're gonna make it. If you beat this guy, you're gonna make it, and so on and so on and so on. And then with M1, that was the first time I think that that Europe opened a little bit the Western Europe open limit to the Eastern Europe. Because before, people used to fight in Holland and Belgium, and Eastern Europe always existed, but who knows what happens there.
Yeah.
And that, like some guys in Belgium, like Benny once, for example, was the pioneer of MMA. He did some bare knuckle fights in Russia back then.
Oh.
Like, would be scary, you know? Like,
Yeah.
but like for us, man, what do we know? And then they go to Korea. And I got managed then, like I entered the Team Sauer. So the same managers and the Sauer
Yeah, the
became
Sauer.
my manager. So you start to feel like, man, like in a sense, it looks really professional, but in another sense,
Did you feel pro?
sorry?
Did you feel as a pro?
No, because that's the whole thing. They talk to you like you're a pro, you're trained with the good guys, but in the end, like, I really feel like, man, I'm an imposter, I don't belong here. But then, that's what always happens. But then the guys you beat were supposedly big names. I said, man, if I don't feel like an imposter, how bad must they be, you know?
Yeah.
But then I fight this Korean guy, and you know, like, it was 2 rounds, and I lost both rounds, but then again, you know, like, stand up, nothing really happened, and on the ground we had a competitive fight, okay, and it went to his way, so it's not like I get overclassed, it's just, okay, that's what happened. And then the second fight that I won, so for me, I won was my big shot, I felt. It was the first time I big fight on the big stage, let's say, yeah. And my second fight was against Musa Kamanaev. You heard him?
No,
He's
he's
like a Chechen guy, yeah?
Chechen.
Yeah. So then I fight with him, but what did he do? Took me
Took
me
you
down, ended up in close guard.
Triangle?
Well, I triangled once, and then he jumped out. So you know those guys, they take you down, and you're not gonna wrestle against them. So then I lost the fight pretty much in close guard.
Yeah.
We went it went 2-1. So it was 3 rounds, and I won 1, I lost 2. But who really knows what those judges do like? Then I feel okay. That's how the wrestler feels like. At the same time, my friend Vizrael Kamiev, our wrestling coach, we still have at our gym today. I met him. Yeah, and he came to our gym just like an unknown guy who trained his whole life in Dagestan. He was on our mat. Okay, we're gonna roll no-gi. So okay, we start to roll. I get stuck in close in half guard. Never managed to sweep him. So this guy at my head never did Jiu Jitsu. Only wrestled. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could never sweep him. At some point I pick him up, and his leg is in like a single leg, and his foot is in my neck. There's a backflip, takes me off him.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, what the hell? He's an unknown guy from Dagestan, a Chechen actually, but always lived in Dagestan, comes here. Like I got not how, arrives here in Belgium, and I can't even beat him in my own sport, and this guy cannot strike. Now let's imagine this guy can strike, and if this unknown guy, imagine how many more unknown guys live in those parts
Yeah.
who actually can strike. So what am I doing here? And then okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay, maybe I can still do this, because back then, where are you gonna fight high-level wrestlers? In Belgium, there are some Chechens, but there's not like not the guys you can train your game with. There's not the kind of like the hotheads who are gonna
Midgets, yeah.
like who are gonna destroy you if you don't watch out. So we don't have like technical wrestling, and even if we had some wrestlers we can train with, it's more like we train the moves. We never learn systems. So it's okay. So what I'm gonna do now? Like fight people who wrestled their whole life. So I think okay. At the same time, those managers keep saying, let's fight this guy, let's fight that guy. So they offer me, I got a fight against Tommy the Pret.
This is what I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
This was a really famous guy back then.
Yeah, so I
And
had...
he had in his corner Henderson, I believe, or not?
No, that was Tarek Safedin.
Tarek Safedin.
That's a different
Tarek,
That's
Tarek
the guy who made it the first in
I
Belgium.
remember him from UFC.
For me, it was like, for many years, that pushed me like, the best Belgian MMA fighter. And on the other side, Tommy the Pret was growing, and he went to with Golden Glory,
Yeah.
and he get a big name, and like, okay, like, so at some point we had to come out, yeah? So I fight him, and I win, okay? But man, it's like, okay, I can beat these guys, but he could have beaten me also, like, if the fight goes different, like, maybe don't take him down, maybe get like a wrong punch in the wrong moment, you can always lose, because the guy was good. So then you're thinking, man, and then after that fight, they offered me the fight against Mairbek Taitsumov. He was in the UFC also at some, and then they offered me, we want to fight him, so offered me to fight him, I think for like 1,500 euros in Grozny, Chechnya.
Oh.
Yeah. But today, man, I have my contacts. I know Arbi Muradov, my good friend in Chechnya. It's not that scary. I mean, of course, you don't behave like an idiot there, and they will treat you. They'll treat you super nice, yeah. But man, but now there is internet. I've been there. I have had people. But when you're 27 years old, man, like they tell you stories about us, all the stuff crazy Chechens, you don't go,
Yeah.
man, you just don't simply fly to Chechnya and just see what happens, you know.
Did you
So,
go?
I didn't. No, I didn't go, man. That's why I'm saying, like, man, I'm not gonna go there. Look, they do not look. For me, I was a very attractive fighter to build your career against. I was like 19-4, so 19 wins, 4 losses. Yeah, but I'm a grappler. So what is the worst thing that can happen when you fight me? Maybe you get submitted. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna KO you. I might tap you. Huh? The Chechens. They can punch better than me, huh?
Yeah.
They can wrestle better than me. What's the worst that can happen to me? They kill me. They
Yeah.
throw me on my head. So, and probably like what I'm gonna do, like they out wrestled me, like I would not even have a chance. But then they still like beat former and one fighter, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a good like building steps. So man, I'm not gonna be the stepping stone, you know. So screw this.
And this was your like your first MMA steps, like you were
That's my last MMA steps. This.
the last. But
Yeah, like-
did you focus on an MMA career back then?
Like I just was
The guy who likes to fight.
yeah, man, like I was the perfect student in a way, like you tell me
What to do and you
punch
do
your
it.
spit until you puke, I will punch your spit until you puke. And if I would have had like very good coaches who knew what they were doing, and not like a Thai boxing guy who did some Thai boxing like
Yeah.
in his day and then thinks he can run a gym, and like my grappling coach who was actually technical well but still figuring stuff out, and then also like there was no MMA. You had like the Muay Thai coach who said this, and the Jiu-Jitsu guy who says that. Wrestling was non-existent.
But nobody could
Yeah.
pull it together.
So it's like it was still like style versus style. So
Yeah.
man, like I think he got out at the right time.
And then you followed the jiu-jitsu.
No, then it was okay. What I do now? Okay, let's keep grappling. Let's keep fighting and see what happens. Yeah, but the same thing there. Look, what I find is always this. I always felt like I was the best in my situation. You put me in the gym, and I would be the second best guy in the gym because RB always used to beat me.
You would be Craig Jones of the gym.
Yeah, exactly. The number 2. Yeah, it's always like RB was like we always smashed me my whole life.
Man, he's
Yeah, always,
he's
yeah,
a
till
killer.
this day. And Vizarel Kamiev till this day will smash me. Yeah. Now these days, because I'm getting older and I have some guys who train every day also, so now I have some guys who like I can go toe to toe with. I have to get smart these days because there's like I legitimately have good students now who can actually beat
Yes,
me.
yeah.
Like, of course. Yeah. But for many
did
years,
you-
it was Arbing and Vizarel.
The best.
Yeah,
I think it's the best input that you could have for that time being. You know?
Probably it is. Probably
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. But imagine that's like my regret a bit. Yeah. Imagine having like a good coach from day one who tells you what to do. You just think for yourself. Just do this. Shut up and train. Yes,
Yeah.
I'd love to. But we had to figure out strength training. To figure out nutrition. To figure out management and getting fights. Figure out the grappling. Figure out anything. You know.
Yeah.
So you
that's-
pretty much have to figure everything out while also fighting, while convincing your parents that it's like a good idea to do this, while you also should be studying, and then tell your girlfriends have at the same time, hey man, like why
Yeah,
you don't, like why am I well training? Oh, you don't like to spend time with me?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but I also want to, should I like training more? Well, yes, in hindsight. It's like it was an impossible thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but here we are. Yeah.
How do you think that this, jiu-jitsu has changed over the years? Like,
It didn't really change, I think. It's like always the.
it has, I think it has, like,
It has changed and it hasn't.
in a way that it attracts different kind of people, all kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Because back then it was really the people, I believe the people that really could have endurance and they could go under, like heavy pressure and they would go and have heavy rounds every day, every session. And now it's quite different, isn't it? Like,
Well,
It's
two,
not
two
so
ways
good.
about it. Back then it was like the real men, people wanted to fight. That was there. Some did it for self-defense. Some did it for because they were like police or like bouncers. And some did it because they wanted to have a fight career. But everybody did it because of fighting. And we got in because the whole world, the main view on that time was striking is the best.
yeah.
And then we go to Jiu-Jitsu and like, oh no, the grappler can beat. And everyone was still in the world with Jiu-Jitsu because we wanted to beat the striker. That was the big difference. And so if you go from the perspective of the beating against strikers, you glue, you stick, you don't give any space. Yeah, it's all nice standing passing. Until the guy you're fighting can actually stand back up and kick your face in again. So man, in self-defense, you either stick with far away you run. You don't take a guy down and stand up for. So in that sense, for me, like standing garbage doesn't really exist. It's like it's an illusion. Maybe now because we have it developed over the years and people got really good into it, you probably can also play it in an actual fight because you got the skills in an environment without striking. But with a purely striking environment and self-defense perspective and MMA perspective, I don't think you make the distance again. Unless you're a better striker and better wrestler and want the guy to stand back up and beat him the moment he gets up, for example. But that was the main difference. And also, because there was no YouTube, there was no internet, I like that better. Because back then, which people actually won? Those people who put their time on the mat, figured things out by themselves.
And get the results.
And went to tournaments and actually looked at it. But these days, man, look, you can buy every instructionals and everybody can become an expert out of his arm couch.
Yeah, everybody can talk behind the keyboard and...
Not only that, but like literally you can learn whole systems and how it works just from instructionals.
Okay, yeah, of course, but can your body translate that or to apply it? You need a lot of training to put a lot of time.
You still need to put the time into that, yeah, but...
You still have to put some time on the mat, not some, you have to put a lot of time on the mat. I study, for example, a lot of instructions, but I do like 4 to 5 hours a day training.
But back then you had to drive the miles.
Of course,
Brazilian
you have to have
Germany.
a notebook and write all the notes that you
I
learn.
never really took notes, but it's more like, okay, there's a Brazilian now in 3 hours away in Germany. Let's drive there. Let's drive there. So the same time and the money can now be spent on instructional from your couch. So but we had to work hard for that knowledge.
Oh, you think that you would value different, like if you had to work for it for the information.
Like it's just like information is already available right now. Before it was the people who worked hard got the results. Today, the people who work hard and work instructionals still outshine everybody else. But also the people who don't really work hard can also watch instructionals.
Of course, because we live in a world of technology, Instagram world, TikTok, whatever. So everybody's building the brand and they can, act crap and sell crap.
But I will say it also like this, look. Okay, did you ever play video games?
Yeah.
Did you ever play video games?
Not really, like as a kid, but not video games in the form of, like...
Okay, I will tell you what I used to like, I used to like to play Warcraft. No, Warcraft 3, not the one.
I don't know,
I used to
I'm
like...
not familiar.
Doesn't matter, or like, imagine I like to play a shooter game.
Yeah.
And like occasionally, I used to like to play video games, occasionally. And I prefer to be like, play Mortal Kombat with my friends together.
Oh, this is good.
This is a good example, actually, Mortal Kombat. Face to face with your friends, okay?
Yeah.
And those characters were very simple. They all did the same moves, but they had to like learn 2 or 3 special moves and a few combos. So pretty much in 1 hour you figure the character out, and your friends pick up another character, and you can figure out those characters out in 1 week and have like fun different matches. Okay.
Yeah.
But then pro gaming came around, and the games became so complicated, and now people spend hours and hours and hours and months and months and months to train one single character. And then you start to go online and you play with a guy, boom, get beaten. Hey, you stupid noob, get out, and they're ruining it for everybody else. Yeah. So now today you have all those average grapplers, we also have instructionals, but you also have the musimeshis, and those musimeshis, they ruin it for everyone, because today to have a competitive advantage, you need to spend whole days in the basement, learn each and every inch of every move, and forgo a whole complete social life and everything else. So man, you cannot really be a balanced person anymore if you want to.
You can't.
Yeah. So pretty much
because you have to devote your life into it, and you have to neglect everything. I mean, the financial factor as well.
There is also that, but it goes so much deeper. Look, so it's impossible these days to be a balanced guy if you want to have success in this martial art, because you have to spend day in day out, be pretty artistic in your art.
Of course.
Spending it with other artistic people from day in day out. Probably be on roids,
Yeah.
But that's why I like the view of Rickson Gracie better.
Yeah.
And I like what is a full martial artist? Is also the one who goes into the cold, does the breathing, does the mental aspect, does the fitness, Yeah.
Yeah.
The camaraderie outside. I don't know. Like if you really push the very edge of the art these days, I think it's very hard to do it in a balanced way.
Sure.
To have a full life and also that it's harder, I think, at least. But it's my perspective. I don't know. Yeah.
You think that the new school guys, they have like a, what's the deal with the new school guys? You think that I kind of feel that the jiu-jitsu community attracts a lot of different kind of people nowadays, like from all kind of backgrounds, people that are not physically fit, or they're not maybe into too much of fighting, as we said, like the old days, like what's the deal? You think this has changed the sport or jiu-jitsu philosophy?
Well, I'll tell what I like. I think through training years over the years, right?
Yeah.
And I think if you look at many different things in life, it's always about yin yang, balance, finding the middle one, everything. Yeah? And for me, Rickson Gracie, when I see him talk about arts, he seems to me the most balanced person in jiu-jitsu we have. There's probably other guys like him. Like if you look at Gordon Ryan, for example, amazing grappler, but if you see what and to be honest, I'm not saying that I'm a more balanced person. I'm saying the way he speaks doesn't really seem like he's in peace with himself. Doesn't really seem balanced.
Yeah.
Same for Craig Jones, because you don't talk shit and talk around if you feel happy about yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, but maybe they not Gordon Ryan, but Craig Jones. I think he does it for the brand.
That's so cool.
That
is cool, and I love it, and it's good for the art and for the popularity.
To bring
and all
people
that.
money.
Okay, who's my favorite MMA fighter? Well, two guys I can say: GSP and Khabib. Why? Zen. Talk. Fedor. Zen.
Yeah.
They don't shit talk. They just do the art for the art. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then from all those guys, Rickson Gracie for me seems the most balanced guy. Yeah. And why? Because it's always easy to say. They say like all those guys talk about self-defense and about this and about that.
Yeah.
But I think very often when they talk about self-defense, it's misinterpreted. I think Jiu-Jitsu at its core is self-defense, not because self-defense we're on the street and we're gonna defend ourselves, but also that you have to find yourself. But also at its core on the mat, it's also self-defense. What I mean is, I always found that if the one who moves first or changes distance first has a higher chance of losing. Like whenever I grapple with you, I feel we get to a point, okay, if I move now I lose. So that's it. Like the more you try to, like I feel in life also, if you have your goal, okay, I have something in mind, and you can put a lot of energy in achieving your goal, but the more energy you put into achieving it, the more you're blind to other opportunities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the more you're gonna waste your energy, maybe waste better opportunities, the more you get blindsided and only focus on your target. It's good sometimes, but also the more you get blind to other opportunities and the more you lose your energy. And like, okay, for me it's more like, okay, I know what I want a submission. I want to achieve that or that or that. Okay. I put myself on the pad. And now you be happy with your situation. You connect to what happens in the moment. And when the opportunity arises, then you catch it. That's how I always ruled from day one. And I felt like from day one for myself, the more I change my target in the role itself, the more I lose, the more I get injured. And for me, when I talk about self-defense, if you see this fight, for example, like Rickson Gracie against Zulu, for example, it's boring to look at because you don't really know what happens. Right? It's like the same, yeah. But what I do really like the core of jiu-jitsu, like connect, try to limit damage, tire the guy out, and then beat him. Yeah. And that is pretty much it. Like, you ever watch Star Wars?
Never.
Never. You should watch Star Wars. Yeah, like, who is the best Jedi of all? I can say it's Darth Vader because he kills everyone. Like, but Obi-Wan Kenobi has a defensive style. Yes, he defend, and every has an opportunity, then he strikes, and like the guy beat himself.
So he's more effective in a way.
It is more like this is it's not like. It's not about more effective. It's like the only thing, like defense is the only thing that's available to us mortals fighting all those roided gods. That's the one. You either go like the dark side. What is it? Yeah. Go full strength, go full bow, go full crazy, and that is effective. Very effective. That's like literally Star Wars. Yeah. Like the Emperor. Yeah. Uses strength, hate, whatever. Yeah. The dark side. What does it look like? His fingers are mangled. It looks like
Yeah, of course.
it looks like
he goes balls out full force, man. Yeah.
full force, but it like it leaves his mark on your body.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
It's like actually, like when George Lucas wrote Star Wars, it was influenced by samurai, about the stories of samurai. It's a lot of Japanese philosophy in those movies. Yeah,
I
so
didn't know this. Okay.
yeah, because I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, that's all I do. Watch Star Wars theories and watch Jiu-Jitsu and play with my children and train. That's pretty much all I do. So, but anyway, yeah. But like the light side, what is the light side? You don't want to beat your opponent; they beat themselves. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So that's like longevity.
Yeah.
And also like but even more like the Star Wars guys will live on the good side. Yeah, eventually they become Force ghosts. Okay, what does it mean to be a Force ghost? And the dark side is dead forever. Yeah? So the Force ghost means like your spirit, your essence, your philosophy lives on forever. Everyone remembers you fondly. Yeah. And all those hotheads like a McGregor, you really think
Nobody will remember them.
yeah, they will remember them, like as the guy you don't really want to be.
Like a bad example.
Yeah, you really think anyone will? Okay, they make millions with this and this. You think anyone will still respect them for the millions in a few years? Like, who was one of the biggest warriors in history? Miyamoto Musashi. The book of
The book of
five rings.
yeah.
10 rings or I don't know. But man, I don't know
Who would
how
like
rich he
to
was.
bring him.
I don't know how many women he had. I don't know what probably didn't. I don't know what horse carriage he drove. I just know his philosophy. That's his Force ghost is his thing that lives on forever. It would be the same with Rickson. Like, is Rickson a perfect person? Well, which perfect is? Like, it's also like, what is a person? What is a person really? And then we go into the topic also of idols. Okay, what is an idol? Is something people aspire to and look at as the
Look
culmination,
up, yeah.
like the perfect thing. Yeah. But every time you look at someone as an idol, you pinpoint that person to one specific moment in his life. So where's a guy like Rickson? Is his whole life from his birth to his end. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Like
That he had his bad moments.
not
of course.
everybody has
Everybody
like
has.
he's probably a pretty flawed character in the
Yeah.
beginning who fights on the who gets picked in like he has like this
In the
very
streets,
street fights. And why does he do it? Because you should have said no. So what's self-defense? We don't know because then nobody will remember your name. You know, like in Achilles in Troy. Like
Yeah.
if you don't fight, nobody will remember your name.
Yeah.
So you have to pick the fight. But after all those years, that guy probably came back to the conclusion, man, I shouldn't have done the fight. Because doing that fight to learn everything else, now
He built
you
it
would,
up to this moment.
because if you're chicken on the moment out of the fight, you don't fight because you're a chicken. But now, after all the life and all the wisdom you gathered through your years fighting, now you would have backed out of that fight knowing better.
Yeah.
But you still have to know better, you still have to pick all those fights. So in that sense, like, for me, when I see him speak, I never train with Rickson, but I know there's like a few videos, because there is very little videos of him on that you can get.
He does.
His
He does
interviews, but
privates. He does
but it's
privates.
very little techniques of him outside, or like there is his fight, but very little fight footage. You really have to look very good to find it. Yeah. But he always looked like a very balanced way to speak, and like I never rolled with him, but I always got like, okay, so whenever, like one of the best videos I ever seen, it was like him with Budo Jake, very old video, and they see like the week before the Meows went there, so like the Berimbolo, and Leandro Lotus like a cool pass, and it comes, I want to teach about self-defense, and Jake, you attack me, and all of this was, like stop a guy, like you run to me, put hands in the elbows, put your weight on your toes, and the guy cannot. So just stand there, and the guy cannot push him over. Say, man, that's so good, you know, because that is. It doesn't take you down. You don't take him down. It just stops you from attacking. And if you back off, there is no fight.
Yeah.
Man, that's the whole thing in jiu-jitsu. The more I have to chase you, the harder I'm gonna run against your fist. So the only that's the dilemma of the sport, you know. In self-defense, if you go away from me always, and I chase you, I have to commit hard and probably run into your fist and hurt myself physically, or at least exert myself and use some dark side to get you, yeah? But if I say, okay, Manolo doesn't want to fight, okay, then we don't have a fight. Yeah? So so the easy scenario for me is if you attack me all crazy, and you just have to withstand all the attacks, attack, until you kill yourself, you're tired, and I can beat you. Okay, good. It's the ideal. Yeah. So
Business-wise, do you think that self-defense is a big?
It's always not about that. You can So I do sports. I train sports. Why do I train sports? Because it's a game.
Yeah.
If you play chess, like a grandmaster cannot beat me in chess if I don't move.
Yeah.
Time gonna run out. Okay, good. You didn't
But you
beat
did
me. You
beat
didn't
me,
beat
yeah.
me. You know. So you cannot checkmate me. You can win by points. You can win because the timer run out.
Yeah.
But if I run away in a grappling match and I have from you away from 6 minutes, they can DQ me.
Yeah.
But you can never claim you beat me. Yeah. So, but that's the sort of sport. So, what is for me the best opponent is the one who goes balls out, and I just have defend. And then the smarter guys who don't go ball out, I lure them with
Yeah, I know. You
gambits.
give some. Yeah, yeah.
Like my idea is like I find someone who's stronger, faster, heavier, and eventually where they're gonna get? They're gonna get to my neck. They're gonna get on my arm. They're gonna get on my leg. So, if to figure those out, if to figure out the defense between
Of
those
this
three,
guy, yeah.
and the transition between both.
You do
I
that,
I
you do
cannot
that
beat
all the
me.
time.
That's it. But the problem is, after a while, it became also a crutch. Because now people don't attack. It's like, okay,
Ah.
it's okay. But then also, like, I'm 42, and in the end, how long can I keep doing this, you know? But I start to go from topic to topic, yeah. But I think for me, Rickson, well, he also in the epoch where he could express that because people really want to, there was all hot heads his fights, like, but like he really expressed that the best. And like I never rolled with him. But the people, one person I did roll with was Chris Houter. You know Chris Houter, student of Rickson.
Yeah, the guy. Is it the guy that he has like geese on his garage?
Yes, that
Yeah.
guy, yeah, combat base it's called,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I had the pleasure to have in my academy, my gym, to teach like a seminar. Amazing, yeah. And I also did listen to a few of his seminars, speeches of 3 hours, where he just talks.
Yeah.
But like to be honest, I prefer him to talk, because technique is technique, but it's like the ideas and the philosophy behind it.
philosophy
Man, I
behind
can
it.
listen to that guy all day. It's
So many
interesting.
guys they
Yeah.
concentrate just in techniques and they forget about the philosophy.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
they neglect the tools. Like if you get the tools and you know how to make something, that's a philosophy instead of getting something ready, which is like a technique.
Yeah.
It's much more important the philosophy behind it.
More interesting at least, in a world where everybody shows techniques. Well,
Yeah.
let me listen to the guy who talks about
How to think
the
about
ideas
behind
and the
techniques
philosophy
everything.
and so much more, yeah. Because that's applicable outside Jiu-Jitsu also, yeah. So like the guy like Chris Houter, student of Rickson Gracie, I get to roll with him and roll for 45 minutes. And we roll super slow. It's just like, man, you get it. It's like, oh man, it's such a compliment for me. So okay. Apparently I'm doing something good. So Rickson talks about invisible Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Okay, what is invisible? That's the mechanics. It must be the mechanics. Okay. So I after that moment and before already and a bit later, like, okay, the early years, you beat people by knowledge. Yeah. So we do half guard, let's say, and everybody pass on this side.
Yeah.
And then the Brazilian comes, so you know what, backstep and pass from there. So now you come in competition, and everybody you face, especially in your small circle, was never exposed to that. So we got like cheat codes every time.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing Mortal Kombat, and now you figure out to throw the spear, and nobody can do it. So now you beat everybody until they figure it out.
Yeah.
So the game was like an arms race to get all the knowledge. Now all the knowledge is out there for free. It takes you literally one Google search. How do I defend the backstep from half guard? And you get like a ton of information.
Yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
right now, because of the ton of information, I think that it has a negative effect.
Of course it
as
does.
well, because people they can't really tell what information they should keep and what to just erase from their memory. So they are not picky. They just get everything, so that they get so confused. I think that's my opinion. And at the end of the day, they just don't use the techniques, or they just their body doesn't translate them, because they just have a ton of information in their mind that they're not thinking clearly, and they don't know what's important and what's not. You know, and that the ability on how to filter the information, like the techniques, the systems, how to filter those techniques. This is, according to my opinion, this is the most difficult thing, because I study over like 14 years. I have notes. I have everything written down on folders, small clips, like 10-second clips to 3 minutes clips, and I've like everything divided. But what it was most difficult for me is how to know what to keep and what to throw away. That's the most difficult, how to filter stuff.
I think the hard thing today is like, it's always the question, you want to be a specialist or a generalist? You want to be good in one topic, or like, back in the day it was easy. It was easy.
Yeah, because you didn't have so
You
many
had to
options.
have be a specialist, because you only got exposed to small parts of the game. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the way I see it is like the phrase "as above, so below, as within, so without." Yeah. So anything you do, yeah, doesn't matter if you do half guard sweep or close guard sweep or arm bar or anything. The mechanics are always the same. You have to connect and be tight. If you're not, it's like doing fitness. Okay, do a squat, do a lunge, do a deadlift, do a bench press.
Yeah.
Now
that
do
increases.
it, and don't engage your muscle. Be like a rubber balloon. Nothing is gonna work. So there is some things that are general and true for every position, and that is invisibility. So like the connection, the engagement, the posture, the structure.
timing.
The timing is in relation to what the other guy does, yeah. But for yourself as a person in a moment, you need connection, weight distribution, balance. Like so many different ways we can say the same thing, but mixing grades is like connection. That's what it. What is connection? What does it really mean to be connected? Because in the obvious sense, it's like okay, attached to someone, like give a hand. But connection is not that. Connection, I feel, is you have to touch the person, but you can also be connected to where you are right now. We're connected. You know what is connected? It's like be in tune with you with everything that happens. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, okay. Let's say we go to the beach today, and your back burns. Yeah. Why does your back burn? You shoulder cream. No, that allows the sheet longer. Huh? If you're connected and sit there and okay, hey man, I feel my skin gets warm. You know.
Yeah, I shouldn't.
Maybe I should go into the shades.
Yeah.
Go to the restaurant. I overate. Yeah, because you were mindlessly gorging. But if you're connected and you sit there, it's like, okay, I think I ate enough. Yeah, that's like it's like, and jiu-jitsu obviously like it's feeling the right moment, the right thing to do, like, and yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So this idea, like, and then before, because right now all the information is out there. So anytime you learn a new technique, it's the first time you try it, it never works.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you think, okay, but that guy does it. So you have to put in the time. And as a specialist, you have to be special in the technique for a while. Okay, you do it. Then after a while, it stops working on guys.
Yeah.
So then, why does it not work? Because maybe I'm missing some elements there. Maybe I can go deeper into technique. Maybe I should go wider in my techniques. So it's both true. You should both. But if you go wider, you still need all the deep things you learned from the day one to apply that. So what is wider meaning? It just means instead of keeping your head running to the same tree, maybe you look around the tree from a different perspective.
Yeah.
But then it's still the same because sooner or later you still come back to the first spot. Yeah. And there is a problem these days. Like, okay, because I think these days I'm gonna try the half guard sweep. It didn't work. Let's go back to the DVD. Let's now see. Let's try a heel hook. Go back. Didn't work. And I have all those YouTube channels out today. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, yeah.
Like the most successful YouTube, Instagram Reels, which is a poison. It's like the fast food. It's like the sugar.
Yeah,
More. Like
and
which people look at
it digestible. We just scroll down, you see 10-second technique, and this is like, oh, okay.
One of my favorite Instagram channels I discovered like a month ago, and it's called Chris Jones, student from Rickson. Did you ever see him?
Never.
Man, in the beginning I was like, man, I cannot stand this guy in the beginning because I think he was like serious. But then I started looking, no. The guy is being sarcastic and he's so good.
He's trolling? He's
Not
trolling?
really trolling, he's just like got his ways. Just watching. It's really like, it's a shout out. I love it. But it's like, it's really good. It's really good stuff. Rickson, student of Rickson. I don't know if he does sports jiu-jitsu, but I see what he says is true. I connect to what he says. Yeah? Okay. 30,000 followers. Pretty decent. Then they have those other channels. I don't want to badmouth anyone, but they have like channels of people showing fence submission, 400,000 followers. Yeah? And why? Fence submission. And that's like, for me, the earlier is also collect submissions. But the art is way more
It's a fancy title that attracts it's eye-catching fancy titles. Or, people, they just want to have like the diet pill. You just take the diet pill and
Yeah.
you lose 20 kilos without working out, without changing your diet, without doing nothing, because the people were built into choosing the easiest way out.
What do most idiots eat?
Junk food.
Junk food.
Yeah.
What do most people watch on Instagram? Junk
Junk,
shit.
yeah, of course. This is
stuff,
the
yeah.
easiest
Yeah,
way.
it's the easiest. It's the dark side, the quick fix. Yes.
In
And
the
they-
book I
and
read, it's like what mamas do. Like they find the easy ways, the easiest. It's like Jiu Jitsu actually. It's the less energy expense. So it's the easiest way.
At first sight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's it. Like because it's always easy to say it doesn't work, so do something else, do something else, do something else.
Yeah.
And in an environment, because what is the biggest group in Jiu-Jitsu? Beginners.
Yeah.
Beginners, out of shape beginners
Beginners.
who train once or twice a week
Yeah.
versus other beginners who train once or twice a week. And
Why? Why do you think is that?
because it's always like that. That's the biggest group. The biggest people in the world, well, the most people in the world these days are out of shape.
Yeah, this is what changed, I think, like on Jiu-Jitsu, like the old days with the
Man,
new
when
Jiu-Jitsu.
I was a kid, it was not acceptable to be out of shape. If I could not do push-ups,
I
like,
know.
hey, you pussy, you cannot do push-ups.
Yeah.
You're a man, you cannot do pull-ups. How dare you, huh? Like
Yeah, it's
these
different
days,
also, yeah.
these days, man, look. Like I make sure my daughters can do push-ups and pull-ups.
Basic
If I cannot do it, then I failed. I find like so. It was not acceptable. It's not about body shaming or anything else. It's just like man, like
This is
like
what your body should
we're living
be
in
able to
we're living in an
function.
environment. We live now in a day where it's crazy to say people should be in shape and take care of themselves. Like how far did it go?
Or they call like diet, to be on a diet, and they just mean to eat like normal food, like food that is not processed.
I saw a good
It's like a diet.
I saw a good video these days, like 2 days ago. Like a guy says, I don't drink alcohol. And people say, you don't drink alcohol. People go, why don't you drink alcohol? Why don't you do? Say like, I should find a way, excuse myself, why I don't drink poison? But if you say, I don't drink water, okay, you don't drink water. It's acceptable, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy times, man.
Yeah. But then, look, so with the techniques, those people who watch those flashy techniques, so it doesn't work. So like, if you see a move, unconnect from the rest, you will jump for that move.
Yeah.
But if you see it as a whole, you have to look like back in the day when we started, a Brazilian would come and show a technique. Arm bar from close guard, knee bar from wherever,
Yeah.
guard press from there. 20 techniques unconnected. The pieces don't fit. Then you start rolling. What do you do when the puzzle don't fit? You make them freaking fit. Yeah? So you smash those buttons and
then it's a
they
disaster.
get injuries. So that's how people jump their your necks and like man, I don't remember the last person I ever injured in my life. Because I don't roll like an idiot. And the last person I injured was probably myself. Huh? But
Yeah.
because I don't jump, you don't do that either. You don't jump out like because you know there's consequences.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very cautious, like
Of course.
like you.
Yeah.
First, I try not to injure the person I'm rolling with, and then not to injure myself.
Yeah, people will blast out. For me, I have to say, like imagine I go to your house. Imagine you come to my house, Mollis.
Yeah.
I want you eventually to feel so comfortable you can put your feet on my table like you're at home. I want to feel like that at home. But I would not appreciate it if I don't know you and you come to my house the first time and just expect you can put your feet on my table.
Yeah.
The same thing in the gym. The people I roll with every day, my good friends, and I know very well, they have to be so comfortable with me that they know the right moment to jump through my neck and what else.
Yeah.
I don't think if I go to a seminar or I meet someone the first time, it's never appreciated, man. First, let's play the puzzle a bit. Let's have a conversation. And it's now start screaming at each other.
Has it happened to your seminars? Like people going
all
balls
the
out?
time, all the time, all the time. And I think it's a very rude and polite thing to do.
Craig Jones had an answer for you.
Yeah, well,
He brought-
injury people, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, then I feel you fail as an artist.
Yeah.
Because what? You're gonna promote. Well, maybe it does not right. Okay, maybe he doesn't. Okay, actually, no. Maybe like I want to.
But if the guy really knew the consequences, like talking about Craig Jones, like if the guy knew that,
Okay.
then Craig Jones would go also like he would go also for the kill.
Okay.
Would he do it at the first place?
I will say it differently. If I put poison in your drink, yeah, and I give you say, hey, here's water, you drink it, you're dead, yeah. If I tell you, hey Manolis, here is red poison, and you drink it, am I still guilty?
That's
Yeah.
a good question. Yeah.
That's the thing though, like you rid yourself of the karma. Man, I'm gonna injure you if you go for it. No. That's not how it works. I think you still did it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I never in a seminar have I willingly injured someone. And so in the end you still have to see it as it is. You still have to see it as it is. At that moment he could have said, I do not feel like rolling hard with you. I do not feel like, and I tap out. But his ego put him inside of that. Now, like I said in the beginning, doesn't make him a let no, because maybe in 20, 30 years he'll come to the conclusion, I shouldn't have done that. So maybe I should have had that face. Who knows if Rickson, I don't know how Rickson rolled 20 years ago. Would Rickson break someone else? I don't think today Rickson would break someone's arm in the gym.
No, I
No,
don't think so.
he would. But man, when I was a white belt, also I don't tap. Man, I'm gonna show you. Like I'm gonna.
Yeah.
That's how we were taught. So
But why people, they, especially on seminars, why they think they have the need to prove something, and they go like, why you think they do that, and they go hard, like to prove, like, you're a champion, for example. So if I beat the champion in the training room, I'm the champion.
there is part.
But does it that
Okay,
make sense?
there is part of it, but I think that's a small part. I think some part will genuinely want to test themselves. Some part will say, "Hey, I beat this guy," whatever that means.
Nice
yeah?
story.
Yeah.
For the
But
story.
also some people just don't know any better. It's like, man, I take you, yeah, and you never swam before, and I throw you into the water. You think he's gonna be like, I'm gonna be zen and just drown in peace? No, he's not gonna.
Spazzy white belt.
Spazzy white belt, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I cannot relate to that. I was never a spazzy white belt. I've never been like that. Never in my whole entire life can I remember to be a spazzy white belt. Just as I never was the guy who come to your house and put my feet on the table or get my plate out of the thing or something very same thing in my head, yeah?
Yeah.
And this goes very deep for me, you know? Chewing gum. Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember in school, if you have a package of chewing gum,
Everybody would
you
come.
take a chewing out of your pocket, like, I want a chewing gum, I want a chewing gum.
Yeah.
Man, I've never understood that behavior. I've never been the guy,
Who asking about chewing gum when I was
and
there?
I'm not gonna beg you, I'm not gonna, like, if you offer me chewing gum, yes. I will ask maybe, I will notice. Yeah, but like my breadsticks or something, feel like, you can get like a chewing gum, yeah. But we would never be like the mindless idiot who jumps on the other guy, like, I have a chewing gum. And it's been like this with many things. Like, for example, I would be out with friends, like, be 16, yeah?
Yeah.
And one guy come with the car, okay? And it would be 7 of us. And 2 of us would have to take the bus, and 5 could drive with the car. Or 1 driver, so 4 with the car and 2, okay. The moment the car arrives, I'm going in the car, they all jump.
Yeah. No,
And
no,
then,
no,
okay,
take the
I
bus.
go to the bus.
Yeah, same.
And I say, Simon, if you're late, you have to take the bus. I say, man, I could never relate to that. So, okay, I already think I'm not gonna be that guy who gonna go like. What?
In this world, it's like takers and givers, I think. Like, there's two kind of people, and yeah.
Yeah.
And you see this kind of behavior, like the people that you give, and they keep taking and taking and taking.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's how they build, how they are. I don't know how they build like this, but for some reason, but this is what they do regularly. It happened to me in my life to come across with lots of takers as people, but as you said, it is what it is, right?
Uh-huh.
And there's givers, which is like I mean, if you're a giver, you don't have nothing to lose, I guess, right? You just give and you have good vibes, great energy, and nothing to lose because you don't need anyone actually.
That's like the same thing with the conversation like during the camp a few weeks ago. It's like, okay, about social media.
Yeah.
Okay, you go make posts, this. From YouTube, what do you get? Best case, get some money from YouTube, yeah?
Yeah.
And you get seminars. And you get to travel.
Yeah.
So what do? You teach people. Huh? And you get money. But it also gets money if you stay home and teach people at your own gym. Yeah.
Exactly.
So in the end, it's about what you do. Okay, I like to travel. I like to teach at some place. I don't like all the places where I go to. Huh?
Yeah.
But, okay.
But you do it.
But what I do hate was like this. At some point, I was in the gym, like in this playground, literally this, and I was editing like a short video. Huh? In the playground,
lots
I
of
had like finally one moment of peace, and I was doing my edit.
I know what you mean.
And then my girl is like, hey, Papa, look what I can do. Hey, yeah. Papa, always on your phone. Okay.
You
So,
miss you miss a good moment.
to be honest, actually, I was gonna say it like that. Maybe I should not say, but like I took a small dose of like actually a big dose of shrooms a few hours ago, and then the Ulrich started kind of working out, and I was in the place like man. And then like once you're like on the end of your trip, you should be very in tune with everything. It's like man, what the fuck is my phone? So I put the phone away, and like every time I do the trip, I was like, don't go on social media. Stay away from social media. Stay away from social media. Every time I trip it,
you give your time. You give your time. You give your time.
You
that
give your
it's
time.
it's more expensive than any money that you're gonna make through the social media.
But
You
that was
give your time that you should give to your kids. For
and then I started playing in the playground with my girl, and I see around, and I see all those parents, like so many parents on their phone. And
Yeah, doing
what
like
the
this.
hell? So
And at the end of the day, it doesn't work.
yeah.
I
And
guess
how can I tell my girl, hey, don't spend time on the screen if you're doing the same thing?
it's a big thing. Yeah.
It's a big thing. Like and we see where the world is going. It's well, is it good or is it bad? That's
Everybody lives like on fake IDs, personalities, hiding behind media, keyboard warriors. They start talking, and they live like a persona that they're not. They build up the persona. You see this kind of filters, for example, with people, girls or men, whatever, and they put this kind of filter. And I read somewhere that some girls they never go out because they filter themselves, like Photoshop their face and everything, so they feel ashamed if they go with their normal appearance.
but it's also going with like this is the dilemma, you know. You want to be the dinosaur that dies out happily, or you want to become the new species that evolves. Hear me out.
Yeah, but why not to have like a proper doses of everything? Just pick the good, pick the good.
The way I
from
see it is
everything.
like in nature, what do you see? Okay, you see in the beginning you have like single cells,
Yeah.
and then some of them start to become a bigger organism, and they defeat the small cells. What does a small cell lose by becoming a big cell? Well, every cell is individual and does whatever it likes, but it makes a group of cells. It's like our body. It's like all tiny cells works together.
Yeah.
Every cell by itself is like
A unique unit.
it is an individual. It can eat, reproduce, and have an energy system. Yeah, but individually they don't decide anything. So we have like the conscience of the whole.
Yeah.
But the cells themselves probably don't like it. Yeah. So at some point, maybe if you look at AI, we all connect our brain, become like a bigger. Let's say the whole Earth becomes one big organism, and the Moon becomes one, and if like a whole society. So in the end, I really think about those things. Like man,
Interesting theory.
what do you see in nature? It's like always, individuals don't last. So if ant group versus ant group, okay. So
Yeah, individuals don't.
so in the end, like the body does not care about a single cell, because someone still gets like a little bit of cancer, kill the cell. You know, so the individual always gets killed by the bigger group. So if let's say now the whole world connects to AI and social media and becomes one hive mind, there is peace, there is no more war, every cell is kind of taken care of, except when you become a rebel, a cancer that destroy you. So
They get it off, yeah.
man, so then they can become what? The individual who gonna beat the system. They're gonna be left. You're not gonna reproduce. You're gonna die out.
Yeah.
Will you join the group? I don't know. Like
This-
I don't probably will not join the group, and I will die.
This
die
is
out.
this is an Oscar movie there.
It's what's happening. I believe it's what's happening. Yeah.
That's quite crazy.
It's not. It's what happened with everything. Yeah.
Technology is it works like it can put like for example fashion, and everybody follows the same, dress up the same, so it's like small stuff, and people get connected, like you said.
I
Like
always
imagine with the big stuff like
I've always been immune to fashion.
vaccines, that you are fond of vaccines.
Ah, yeah, let's not go there. We're not gonna make any friends, or we do.
So, just to change the subject, I like, where would you train if you had the opportunity? Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Where would you train? Like,
So-
if you had like the opportunity to train
Let's first say
in the whole world, like
I've
one
trained,
place.
I've trained in quite a good places. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the place where I always went back to were the places where they treated me nice. I never liked going to. Okay, so first off, I went to Brazil once, yeah, and then we get to where I would train now. Yeah. So I used to train in Brazil once, and in the morning I would used to train at Tereré.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, killers. Tereré, super nice. He's like
You train with the ray?
he's like a cat. The nicest guy I've ever trained with. beats you gently, like the art, soft art. In my defense, I also went nice in with a good mindset. So he never needed to kill me to prove. So I don't know what a pissed terror they would have done.
Yeah,
But I
okay.
never gave him the reason to be pissed. And like, man, it was super respectful, super nice. Yeah. But his students, man, like the favela kids, they was super crazy. But they had good training.
Yeah.
Dangerous. Then they go to the La Riva. It's more the corporate gym where 9 to 5 people train. Yeah. And there I never had any trouble. And I also think the classes were not too great. It's like one technique roll. Like the technique would be like right hand in the collar, move side, left hand in the collar, go to the middle, choke. Like the day after, same thing. Now the opponent defense. The result was like, man, like unreactive, like practice on a wooden doll.
Yeah.
So also not that good. So to be honest, it was two extremes: super safe but boring and effective, or
Super good, but
that crazy
tricky
killers.
with
Yeah,
those
so it
killers,
will be like I didn't like either. So in the end, I don't want to be choosing between two. Like a few good places I've been to. I like Eurogym. Relax.
Thank you, man.
Of course. Relax, nice people to train with. I like to go, for example, I used to like a lot, only been there a few times, like Ezekiel Zayas in Valencia. I've trained. Very nice guys. I trained in Mexico with my friends. At Fernando's gym, Braza Yucatan. Very nice, relaxed guys. Always treat me nice.
What would be a gym that you never trained, and if you could choose from all
Well,
spots in the world?
like for short periods, I could train everywhere. At the very least, I don't want to be in danger. So, for example, going to Cicero Costa,
Yeah.
after hearing all the stories, it doesn't speak to me to go there. I don't want to be trashed around and be mangled and look for my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I look at videos, like let's say now, because that's where we're heading to, like if you look at Texas, which is like
The B team, for example.
like if you see Texas now, which is like the mecca for jiu-jitsu, it seems.
Yeah.
There is the
B
either go to
team.
B team,
or
it's like
New
the,
Wave.
the wild guys or the new wave. I would choose new wave.
Oh, between B team and
Yeah.
New Wave, you would go with.
Yeah,
New
because-
Wave? Why?
I've never seen a video surface where Gordon Ryan injures anyone. Never seen it.
That's
And I've seen him fight against was
Nicky Rod, I think. And
Yeah, like Nicky Rod.
They had a beef.
Yeah,
But
they had a
he
beef.
hurt
They had a
him.
beef. Like actually,
Yeah,
in the ADCC fight, they told him, I think, didn't he?
Who?
In the ADCC fight where they beat Nicky Rod. How did he beat him?
I think twice, and he
The
had
second time was
the
on
heel hook.
yeah. So the
But
guy
he didn't hold it tight.
Yeah.
He just like this, and he just
exactly.
released it.
So the guy is
Even
beef with,
Yeah.
and there he did not break the heels. Even a fight where there's like someone in an armbar, the guy spins out. Second time the armbar again, not twice, and he taps him. Injuries a little bit, yeah. But he seems like a guy, like, and also heard like talking about from Michael Zenger from BJ Fanatics.
Yeah.
Okay, but nobody's perfect. They talk shit, that's one character. We're like, what do I know? But at least it seems like
No, he's
no
very
injury.
safe.
Or maybe they injure people like everybody else does every once in a while, but at least they don't proudly post about it.
I think it's his style that he doesn't injure people, because his style is really
And it speaks
like
more to
dominate,
me, and be in control. And
controlled and well paced.
yeah, for me, they represent more like the old school Ricks and Gracie. Well, to be honest, they come from Renzo Gracie.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Primar, they have the
mentality,
the
and the
mentality.
philosophy
Yeah.
behind, yeah.
Yeah, so for me, the guys from New Wave, they represent more the original art of control, position, submission. Yeah? Where the guys from B Team, they're more like the Far West, like
Wild.
the wild guys. And when I see videos, even from their own footage, from their own security cams, it's like, oh, look how those guys injure each other,
Yeah,
I know,
they have a lot of scrabbles.
I like, sorry?
They do a lot of
Yeah.
scrabbles.
And probably like as athletes who want to achieve higher things, you have to train on the edge, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it should never happen to have injuries, but like I would feel, and also heard like they don't really have a coach who actually leading the classes there.
Yeah.
Whereas the New Wave you would have that.
Yeah.
So this being set up, and I also heard from someone who trained there, from Dino Bukalic, one of my good friends and very good competitor. Like actually shout out to him, yeah. He's very good. Yeah, he says like he went there and said that it's really super nice. Yeah, so.
A New Wave or B team?
A New Wave,
New Wave.
yeah. That's it.
B team, you think the explosive way they train, like, is it like every day like this because they
I
pick
don't
up,
know.
or is it like they do it for the sake of the videos and
I don't know. But the thing is, in like a short while, 2 videos surfaced where Craig Jones injured someone.
Yeah, that's true.
That's number one.
Yeah.
At the very least, that happened.
Yeah, that's why you prefer
Yeah.
New Wave
Two-
and Gordon Ryan
two-
style, yeah.
I saw him roll with Toom at one point in Sportowaza,
Oh,
and he injured Toom with a V-look. Didn't go super hard, it got a bit of freak accident, but they did post it on his Instagram. First heel pop. So like,
I didn't know that.
yeah, like I saw, like maybe Toom maybe tapped. The point is, man, the point is,
Yeah,
like,
that's
why? Oh, the guy tapped too late. Yeah, what the hell? No, you still did that. I think at very least it's not professional. Like if they pay you 10,000 or whatever euros to run a seminar and people pay good money to be there, okay, man. Okay, so what? Okay, there's a difference between going full ham on your neck and start to kill you, but like still, there is no need to do that. Like, look, I'm not a big name like them, huh? But I've been in circles. Let's say, okay, they treated him like a god everywhere, yeah.
yeah.
I've been in my circles, been in places where they treat me like a half god, let's say, huh?
Yeah.
And also been in spots where they won't go berserk. I had a chance to do that. I've never done that. Never crossed my mind. Maybe I would choke someone out, or I would sit on top of them and smother them in front of the camera for 10 minutes in mount and ride them like a bull and like, you know, like if let's say you roll with like a new guy, eh?
Yeah.
And he goes hard, and you tap him hard, and he thinks, oh man, I have to tap him hard. At some point, it will be so old and decrepit, I cannot do that anymore. Yeah. Okay, so then you try to tap him, you go full berserk also, and you cannot tap him. Then the guy says, he went hard and he couldn't beat me. Or, he did beat me, but I had to go super hard. But let's now say I go very calm, and I mount you, and I stay on top of you.
This
And
is what
you-
I do actually.
Yeah, and after 6 minutes,
This
this
one
one you're lost. And let's now say go a bit further, and I'm 80 or 90 years old, and you go crazy, and I defend. And you go like, after the round, how you gonna feel? Man, they make me so tired.
Yeah.
And even if you tap me, oh man, I tapped him, but he didn't go very hard. So that's it.
That's good.
So at the very least, you have to that's a good example. So where would I train? Ultimately, at a part where they would treat me the best. For like knowledge purposes, I would go to the part even where I don't know if they're gonna treat me right, but at least they're gonna injure me and I'm gonna learn stuff.
Yeah.
And I can do like a week, maybe 2 weeks, but ultimately I also like to go on vacation. I want to go to the guys that treat me nice. So like when I trained in Brazil, I didn't really like it, to be honest. Because never, well, I can tell you, never if it happened there, they go after the training, hey man, let's go for dinner. Yeah, it happened. At Terror Regime, it happened quite a few times. Hey man, let's go for dinner, let's go to the restaurant. And after the food, hey, can you pay? Because people from the favela. Oh,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Here, let's pay. Once it happened. Man, at Terror, the last class, Terror wasn't even there. It was one of his students, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm not even going to say the name. Like, can I come to a gym for a seminar? Yeah, of course, man. I was all talking about it.
Yeah.
They always come to my gym for a seminar. The last class, so I took like a short, so I described it for 3 months, yeah? The last 3 weeks, the 2 weeks I went to a short trip to Salvador, came back, okay, my membership expired. So you know what, I'm not gonna go back for the last time, you know? I'm gonna pay whatever it is for one class. So the guy texted me on Facebook, hey man, you wanna come for your last class? Come and say bye to us. So I go there and say, hey man, can you teach the class for the last time because you're here? So I teach the whole freaking class. Then after the class, hey man, yeah, I'm sorry, membership expired. So they made me pay like whatever, 30 euros to teach my own class. And then, wanna go for food? Sure, let's go for food. Let's go for, and then, how can you pay? So no man, you pay your own freaking food this time. You have 30 euros, you can pay.
Well, this is like crazy
Yeah.
story.
It's crazy story, like that's how they are. Like no, so that's my experience in Brazil, yeah.
Yeah.
No, where they always treat me nice was Mexico, man. Was the level as high as in Brazil? No. But nice people, good friends for life, man, that treat me nice. So ultimately, where would I go? It's like, now I'm a follower. To which place can I send my children? So to Mexico, to Fernando, yes. To Manolos, Morto. Of course, here, man. I will leave my daughter here. I know you will treat me right. Huh? Famous guy speaking. Henner and his
Gracie.
Henner Gracie and his brother.
Yeah.
The name escaped me now. The two brothers.
Yeah, the two brothers. They do like multiple classes.
Yeah, like man, there I would send.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I sent someone there, Will I learn good jiu-jitsu? Yes. Will I learn the most effective jiu-jitsu long term? Probably a good average of it. Yeah. Will I learn the most effective jiu-jitsu for competitions? I
You
doubt
don't
it.
know, okay.
I doubt it.
But self-defense?
Principally speaking, definitely yes. Yeah. Because the brother of the two, he still did very well against. You never met a Morris fight.
The Galva, but he was, Galva was a bit frustrated in this match. He said because he was in defensive mode.
Exactly. Exactly.
He said that he never reached out, for making an exciting match, and he was a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The guy never set out to prove that. He just proved that he could
He couldn't
hold
get
in
out by
his own. He wanted to dare to prove jiu-jitsu. Like, he's not a roded monster. He's a mortal who fight a roded demigod and still stood his own. It's like being Batman and only rode against Superman.
Right.
Everybody, like Superman, you're born. Batman, you can become.
Yeah,
Like every stupid boy wants to be Superman.
Yeah.
Like when you get older, man, who you respect the most? Superman, huh?
No, Batman, because he's.
Batman, of course.
Because
The guy with his demons,
Yeah.
he still makes it work, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Do you think that Craig Jones, apart from all trolling and everything, that has to do with, like for example, now that he's doing the 2 million offer, 1 million to each category, all this trolling that he does and all this, stupid shit, let's say, it's like on purpose to bring money on the sport.
Well, like everything else, not everything is grey in the world, yeah? So
Yeah.
first of all, do I like it? Yes, it's chaos. Look, IBJJF represents order.
Yeah.
And order is very safe, but it ultimately corrupts because someone leads the order and it stagnates.
Yeah.
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 So what do you need to light the fire? You need chaos.
Yeah.
And chaos, you break some legs here and there. So for me, that's a good. Craig Jones represents chaos.
Yeah.
He brings the fire, yeah? So now, the whole stable...
He made ADCC, let's say.
There was
prevented by
ADCC, there's IBJJF.
He made ADCC to give out, to raise up the money. He
Yeah.
made them raise up the money.
But
they gave.
in the same way, also low-key trolls IBJJF, not directly, but now there is like a status quo right now, it's been breached,
Yeah.
now actually at least you have to be paid. But then again, look, I'm not into that whole topic of you have to pay the athletes better. No, if the organization earns a lot, the athletes should get a fair cut of that.
Yeah.
But man, there is so many kids these days who want to as the verb sponsor. Oh, my papa has to work for me to represent to get that. I deserve this. I
It's an
deserve that.
expensive sport.
Man, you don't deserve jack shit. What do you produce? You should get money for what you produce. You produce something valuable. Like what? What do I care that you're the next IBJJF prodigy? You know, like who? What is like really? It's
A
cool.
medal, yeah,
You
it's
did
cool.
it, but
It's
it's
cool
a
for a
medal.
picture.
Yeah, it's a medal. It's cool. Congratulations. You beat some other people in a pajama. I mean, I wish I would have done it because I also tried, but but it's cool. But even if I would have been a world champion, I've never said, you know what, now someone has to pay for me. Now the state has to give me like a subsidy to train. What do you produce, man? Nothing. Like, so it's not because automatically I will. In a way, I do think the states
Like
and
you found
governments.
the cure for cancer, let's say,
Well, yes and no. Look, the thing is, governments should invest in athletes because athletes, like in Belgium, we had like Kim Klaasens and Justine Henin, the two best female tennis players at some point in Belgium. Everyone wanted to play tennis, so there you have to the society should use some tax money to pay some athletes to become the heroes that everybody can aspire to. Because like as a whole, make your whole population do more sports, and that is good. You have to create some heroes.
Is it tennis popular in Belgium?
That used to be for a while, and then not anymore. Like Belgium always had the problem to have good athletes in the sport at the same time. It's like Eddie Merckx and not like 5 other like that, but only knows Eddie Merckx, you know.
Okay.
So I'm saying like. So overall, I think it's good if there is investment in sports because you create the billboards that kids can aspire to be and overall become a healthier society. That's good. But I don't think automatically every kid who produces like a medal gets to have the money. But then again, I also don't think it's fair that big corporations like ADCC obviously you have kids to earn all the money, and they create like a false illusion.
Yeah.
And then, so in that
I
sense,
don't
yeah,
think there were a lot of spectators on this sport. That's why
yeah,
they're poor on money to pay out the
yeah. But then
athletes.
again, do you want to be the average football spectator, the soccer spectator?
Nah,
Nah,
this is people that they
nah,
most of them they don't even work out.
nah.
Yeah.
It's all about, so in the beginning I said actually something wrong. I said most people in Jiu-Jitsu are out of shape. Well, no, the whole biggest population is of shape. And a big part of people who enter Jiu-Jitsu are out of shape. But I think overall Jiu-Jitsu is a very good community of people who together try to get in shape. So it's a bit double, you know, like,
The double-edged
yeah,
knife.
I think like overall Jiu-Jitsu is a community where the majority of people at least try to live healthier lives.
But why the white belts or blue belts are, you know, they are much more than the purple, brown, and black belts
Out of shape.
out of shape?
Because it takes a few years to get out of shape. And it's also filter. People who do not, like, if you come out of shape to Jiu-Jitsu, it's quite hard to be the nail forever, yeah? You have to become the hammer also a bit.
Yeah.
So you either never reach that goal and you fade out,
That's
or you
true.
stay.
That's
And also, like, the people say, like, most blue belts drop out. I
Yeah,
think it's also
yeah.
nonsense. I think most people just drop out. And the first times you notice them, there are people, is when they're blue belts, because they're rested a few years. You remember,
And
no,
you realize
most
that it's
people
not-
who drop out are not even a white belt. They come to trial class. Oh, then again, I think we have good retention rate.
How do you see the sport? How do you see jiu-jitsu like in 10 years from now? How do you see it going? You see,
If AI keeps growing, I'd see it as an online game where people put like, you know the movie Demolition Man?
yeah,
Yeah.
but
It's like,
with Wesley
yeah.
Snipes.
If like the mask and people have sex, like with the VR glasses, you know? Maybe that's what Jiu-Jitsu will become.
You think so? It's like VR.
No man, like I don't know. But like, but I see it the history in the world. But then again, we never had, as far as we know, we never had social media and internet.
Yeah.
And back in the day, it was always like, we have wrestling, we have boxing, we have this and this and this. Okay, everything starts to come together. We find out what is the best. This is best. Then after a while, it stays together a little bit. Then it falls apart into the pieces again. Yeah? When the pieces are getting trained, yeah? Then bullshit art starts to emerge again.
Yeah.
So it's always like a cycle.
So I think it's going to be like a cycle that is going to go
Yeah.
like off
I
and
think
then on and off and on.
I
or
think
it's
maybe
something new is
rightfully
gonna
so the name Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu should disappear. Because
Yeah.
man, I don't own,
Keenan was saying this as well.
but like it would call it American Jiu-Jitsu. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
no,
No, people refer to it as grappling, but refer to no gi thing. Yeah.
I like the word Jiu-Jitsu, the soft art.
That's
You know the so. Yeah. What should it become, man? Man, well, will I still be around? Like I don't even have a say to it, you know. What would it be? Well, let's say what I hope it will not be.
Yeah.
I hope it never goes Olympic. I hope it
because
never
after-
goes full because once it goes super mainstream, the mainstream controls it.
Yeah.
And audience is like we should keep people who do not practice the sport out of the sport as spectators.
Yeah.
Either you watch it and you get into it, or you watch it, you don't have an opinion, you get out. Because the average MMA fan, I mean, look at this. What is the most popular martial art in the world? The most money earning martial art in the world. Martial art. The process of art.
Martial art. Wrestling or boxing?
Yes, wrestling close, but biggest money earner.
I don't know. WWE.
Yes,
Yeah.
fake wrestling.
Fake.
Sells drama.
Yeah.
UFC is some part of it because I think UFC also has some storylines going on.
Yeah.
Okay, like in the sense that
But now they do the same in like what Craig Jones does. Like he's fighting Gabby Garcia.
yeah,
Like a freak show match. But this happens not for
It's
the
good.
sake of the sport. They do it like for viewers.
I think it's good to learn some people in.
And
They can't become a paradigm. Like in WWE, that's all it is.
yeah.
Well, good man. Okay, maybe if some people get interested into it, if you want to watch it, I don't want to do it, but I respect it. It's definitely an art. I mean, those people, they're athletes, you know.
Yeah,
So I respect what they do. Definitely, it's not about that. Never, you can hate the game, don't hate the player, you know. That's it. But like I don't want jiu-jitsu to become such thing that like the average man doesn't even do it. As I say, because even the Olympics, I don't. All the Olympics are definitely like peak achievements for sports. I don't think the people who call the shots in the Olympics. I think it's more like mafia guys who go behind the scenes and broker deals, but and don't even watch the sports.
Yeah.
Like what do you think? Like in a national team of Greece or in Belgium at least, the big sharks are meeting those Swedes. You think they watch football?
Nah.
I will tell you like this: what is one of the most money-earning sports in the world? Golf.
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 Many rich people do golf. You know what I believe? Why golf is so for rich people? Now it's different, but back in the day, okay, you're a mafia boss. You don't want people to eavesdrop on you.
Yeah.
Listen to you. So you meet like another mob boss out in the open,
And we go
where you can, like nobody can listen to you,
go around.
and you play a game to get the edge off a little bit, and you talk to your stuff. I think the same happens into the like behind the scenes, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's what most sports is about. Like I think that's most of what everything is about. It's about money and doing deals and not really about like man. Let's go very deep on that. Yeah, this is a good conspiracy theory. I found. Look, art by itself. Yeah, I can appreciate a well painted painting. Yeah, I can appreciate also like Vincent van Gogh.
Yeah.
Impressionism.
Yeah.
Because we pretty much was the guy was going blind, and that's what he was seeing. Okay, it's like a difficult way of portraying it. I like Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
Amazing. Surrealism. Awesome. Picasso. It's like not really my thing. But like this modern art, like you know the banana.
Oh, yeah.
What do I think it is? I think it's literally this.
Epic troll.
Okay. more like that. Okay. So first off, we pay with like the most I would ever probably go in my life would be pay with a €500 bill. I have to pay something. Hey, my lord, I want to pay you for something. Here's a €500 bill. That's my biggest balling thing ever. Yeah. Like if you're a rich person, very rich, and you don't want to go with all the taxes, I'm not gonna pay you in bills. I'm gonna pay you with a Picasso. Here is 10 million. It's not worth anything, but we both agree it's 10 million.
Yeah.
Okay. So what also happens probably is this. If I want to make money, so let's say like a street artist with like 100 paintings. Looks kind of okay, not better than the other one. Okay, it looks like a bit okay. So I'm gonna buy 99 of those paintings. I'm gonna buy them each for €1,000. Quite a lot. I store them in my vault. And then I go make the media and I say, hey man, I discovered this amazing painter. Like one painting, and I go want to pay $10 million for it. And I buy it, and now I make a lot of media spectacle. And then
Black money.
the guy dies or whatever, I don't know, or my kids later in my vault, hey, another painting surfaced of this guy. And now it's a world of money. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's how it also is once. I think it's like a way to donate money to someone else without to not pay taxes.
Yeah.
And what is the banana? And what is the banana with the painting, with the tape? What is it? It's like this. You know, man, look, politicians, you know what, man? We're gonna launder some money. But you know, let's really, fuck those peasants. Screw those peasants, right? Us, we're peasants.
Yeah.
The farmers, Screw those peasants. Let's really, they know what it is. They know it's laundry. Let's really show it.
So you think it's
know
like
what, man?
an epic
Let's make a stupid banana. €100,000. What are we gonna do those stupid peasants? Nothing. And I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because like at some point, one guy ate the banana. And like, oh, you destroy the art. No. We replace it because it's rotten. So we replace the banana all the time. It's the idea. Man, if you get like, it's freaking assholes laughing with us right in our face and no, we cannot do anything about it. I think that's what it is.
That makes,
that's what
a
it
good
is.
theory. Speaking of theory, what do you think about...
yes, let's go there.
What do you think about under the table deal with Dana here and Craig Jones? They're...
Oh man, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been mentioned before, but look, if you think about like during Corona,
Yeah.
and at some point said at Lex Friedman, I think, we found the way, like we devised the idea to make grappling, no-gi grappling, the most popular sport of all time, and very well paid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying the guys
Yeah.
it's a conspiracy, but a few things. Yeah. So if you would want to make jiu-jitsu the most popular sport in the world, this is how you would do it. You create two teams who are former friends, you simulate a beef, and you make drama. This is how you would do it. And when you start doing it with CGI, like Crazy Old Invitational, we get some outside and pump a lot of money into it. This is how you would probably do it. Yeah. Now, do Craig Jones and Gordon Ryan generally hate each other? Well, I think it's very hard to keep faking it forever.
Yeah.
But let's not imagine.
Dana here?
That Danaher, who is Australian,
Or New Zealand.
New Zealand,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter, but
like
they're Australian.
and Craig Jones is New Zealand. Maybe they talked about it, Let's say, like I
Let's
know.
drive Gordon Ryan crazy.
This dinner saying like, I know how this Gordon is. I know how these guys are. We both know. We can banter. Let's do it. Let's do that.
That would be epic.
And then the question is, would they ever admit? Like, I'm not saying it is, but this is how you would do it. Or maybe like the team was like about to split up. You know what? This is just gonna happen.
Eventually,
Let's use all this negativity for something good. Because in the end, like that's what it is. Yeah.
Or maybe now they split it up like as you said, like maybe they just it was honest split, whatever, and now they found that they had to put a figure also, like
like this, yeah.
say about the head coach. That is gonna be like a figure like Dana here. They have Dana here. We don't have a coach, so let's bring someone to be like coach versus coach. Someone that is unknown from Europe. With
Also injured.
Also injured. There also if he is like that, and he does this awesome stuff. Nobody knows about his past or where he's been or what he's done. His mistake.
So you're thinking about whom?
They put together another figure just to.
That would be the deep conspiracy. Like they already destroyed Gordon Ryan's reputation.
Yeah.
Imagine now they want to destroy Danaher's reputation by bringing like the same guru who can do it, but in 5 years as a brown belt.
Yeah, as a brown belt.
But then again, look, I know met the guy, so like we cannot.
Oh, we just speculate. We just make
theories.
Theories.
Would be fun to do it like that, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying this like that, but if you want to do it, that's how you would do it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Just the last thing I'd like to ask you, because you have a big gym. Eventually, you have a big.
Well, like average gym, like.
Yeah, but you have tons of experience in kids classes, in adults classes. You have. Last time I went to the gym, to your gym, you had like a family with 9 kids. Right?
7 kids.
7 kids, and 2 the parents, so 9 members of a family.
No, so like the father trains, and the daughter used to train at my gym because now she studies somewhere else. So she.
So yeah, but
so
how,
she moved
but big family.
And like the 4 boys still train, and then the son-in-law trains.
Oh man,
So,
so
yeah,
many people. So you have experience with kids, with adults, with hobbies, with competitors. You have tons of experience. Do you have a different approach on like on the kids training with adults and hobbies?
Well, it started to grow more towards each other. Okay. What I realized at some point was this. I said it before on conversations like this, was like there's 3 important things for every class. Fun, safe, need to learn something. If it's not fun, nobody's gonna keep doing it.
Exactly.
If it's not safe, people are gonna drop out, or
they're not gonna last.
Pushing the fun, but like only the idiots or the hard people will last. Yeah. And then you need to learn something. Well, eventually, if you don't learn something, it stops being fun also. But the least important initially is learning something, because if you keep doing something fun and safe, you will improve. So what is the most important depends on the group. With children, you have to be a bit more fun than safe.
Yeah.
They will fall at some point, but like man, you cannot make it 100% safe. You need to have the chaos happen. If you go with like almost retired people, they find everything fun, like if you get because you get like a child again in the end. So there you go, more safe. And then the hardest group, man, is the adults.
The adults.
Because like some are like completely out of shape adults, some are like athletes, some are like odd heads, some are like everything in between, yeah?
You have different.
So then you have to be fun and safe. How do you mitigate that? And then you also have to learn something. The learning something is easy. Let's just expose to the correct thing, yeah? So, what approach do you use to teach people? So back in the day, it was like 3 techniques, stupid warm-up, 3 techniques, let's roll.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, some positional rolling, probably not the best way. I feel like in Brazil, at least the last time I was there, 10 years ago, they were still teaching like that.
The same thing, yeah.
Yeah. And I feel overall, they are the most, like if you're like a Brazilian learning your class, often it's like, not all of them, like, but it's like, they pick the person you roll with, it's very structured. Like, I don't like this like, this approach. I want to be free and okay. Like, also like, why do we bow the mat? No, we don't bow you, so we bump fists. So once you know why you bow the mat, you don't have to bow the mat anymore. It's one of respect. Once you have respect, like I'm saying, once you're comfortable at my home and I know you, please feel free to put your feet on the table, yeah? But don't do it the first day. Don't expect it, yeah? So then, okay, where was I going with this?
About teaching method.
Teaching method, yeah? So, okay, ultimately, like, then now you have the ecological approach. Only treat
What do you think about this?
Well, I will go into it only treats through games, yeah? Like, only treats through games and tasks and people figure out.
Task-based games that Dale as well did, and you think it's like what's like ecological approaches? You think it's kind of thing that it's like the new thing, like it's commercial stuff that people they just find they feel always.
First off, I think never is anything new under the sun. Everything has always been done before and will be redone again.
Yeah.
That's number 1. 2, nothing is like black and white. So to say you should never teach techniques, that's stupid. Because the argument for ecological approach I heard was like, how did Roger Gracie figure out this stuff? But keep doing it and figure it out himself. Yes, and how many Roger Gracies are there? There's one Roger Gracie. Yeah. So do you really have to let every idiot figure stuff out for himself, or maybe you learn from the masters? So I don't want you to figure out. So I like people figuring out them stuff, but I want you to figure out my stuff. I don't want you to figure out your own stuff.
Yeah.
I want
to have some certain guidelines.
I want my student to figure out what is the. Like, I don't believe this. There is not like in every situation, not 2 equal things to do. There is one best thing in a situation. I believe literally in every situation there is one best thing to do. What it is impossible to sell from the outside. Because to feel the moment and feel connected and feel in the moment. And depending on the context and what you desire, like if you want competition, I'm on top, I want to win on points, the best safe thing is, okay, I want to win.
So stay on top, yeah.
So stay on top. But I want to make spectacle, I have to submit him. Okay, what is the quickest way to submit? Yeah, it depends. Yeah. So then you can still choose. There's still one ideal thing to do in every situation. Yeah. So it's also been proven. I read actually. I don't know for sure because I'm not a scientist. I don't know even how they research that stuff. But I've heard before that people who have 2 options in the situation, they take more time to decide things. So ultimately, if you have the perfect in every situation, that's good. I feel like I tried the ecological approach, like teaching 2 games, for like a year. Yeah? And what I feel, I roll worse. Because, maybe my students roll better. I don't know. But me, myself, I roll worse. Why? Because I become less systematized. Before I would teach every single detail and I'd like an answer to every single question. Yeah. And I was like, just do this. And ultimately I also think it's like a lazy way of teaching. Maybe it's because I didn't figure it out yet perfectly to do it. Maybe these guys who always do it, they can achieve things faster and better. Maybe. But I didn't achieve to do it. And like many people in Jiu-Jitsu, man, they became teachers through Jiu-Jitsu. I have like a full education as a teacher. I've been teaching, I'm now 42, I've been teaching at least my early steps in Jiu-Jitsu, since I was 15 years old. I teach in school, teach kindergarten, teach adults, teach seniors. I've teach swimming classes, I've teach many, many, many things. Yes?
Almost 30 years of experience.
Yeah. And
you think it's a gimmick?
No, man, I think it's like, okay, if you want to get talked about, You have to say something, yeah? And the way I always say is like this, I always play it like that, as a metaphor, right? Religion, okay? And the devil is in names, okay? And I'm not saying you have to be religious to see this. Like, I'm religious in the sense I believe there is something, but I'm not Catholic, I'm not, like I believe as much in Zeus as I believe in Yahweh or whatever, yeah? But the way I explain is this, okay? If you give your God, what does Allah mean? It means the God. And Yahweh means I am who I am. So the God. It's not offensive. Because the Hindus have a God, and you have a God, and everybody is a God. Everybody is a God, yeah. Yahweh, I am who I am. Yeah. Who are you? I'm God. Who are you? I'm God. Who are you? I am who I am. Like, stop asking me stupid questions. That's not offensive, yeah? But then, after a while, people forget. Now, Allah is the name and Yahweh is the name. The moment you name your God Allah and people see it as a name, what happens? You get 5 groups. You get the extremist who completely say, oh, this is all there is. You have the other group, the anti-group who says like, no, there is no God. You have the mediocre ones who say, there is a God, but I'm not going to go too deep into it. There is no God. I don't really care. Yeah. And the biggest group of all is those who don't give a fuck. They don't care. Yeah? So, ecological approach. You have those guys who go all out into that. You have the ones who completely go against it. Most people don't give a fuck. They go like a little bit that. And what do I think is this? Ultimately, what does God mean? It's everything, yeah?
It's everything.
So everything you do is
ecological approach.
Ecological approach is just like the color blue. The color like apple blue, sea green is like one dot on the infinite spectrum. That probably is good. So I will tell you what I like about it. What I really like about it is this. And that's the biggest thing is like, okay, I always used to teach a solution straight away. And then people don't appreciate the solution. So what I do like is they teach first that people experience a problem. For example, half guard. Like today, my class in your gym was a bit of a mess. Because you throw me into it and I was like, man, I'm gonna teach, and then I start talking, we don't get anywhere. Yeah? So like on Friday, for example, if I teach half guard, I will say, we're gonna teach about half guard. Okay, what is the best spot people want to be in half guard? Probably a body lock, or at least an underhook. Okay, let's fight for the underhook. Because that's something everybody agree on, let's fight for the underhook, okay.
You break down the position in frames.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So then the point, okay, let's fight for the underhook. Oh my god. And after a while you will see that people naturally rotate the defender, the top guy, will hide the side of the underhook. Man, I don't get the underhook. That's a problem. But now it's not figure out in a million years how to get the underhook, because
let me tell you.
Let me,
and then let's work on it.
Let's work on it. Or let's now go somewhere completely else and in the end to reveal the truth, that I really like. But to be honest, man, look, I had like one time a very good success in my gym. I was like, okay, people sucked. And this is called the organic approach. Don't like just look at your group.
Is the new thing that we announced right now, organic approach?
Yeah, but also like the thing is with that. Okay, no, it's not announced. Like no, it's not a name. It's a spec. It's it's in the momentness, connectedness. Yeah, so organic. Approach. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Yeah, but okay. But let's say this. What I do notice people do a lot these days. Yeah. Is lazy teaching. Stick on the side, I design a game. Yeah, good job, go there. Do a bit more this, a bit more there, on the side. Yeah, I don't want to give anyone favors. Man, I also sometimes do this when I'm tired. But on my good days, I go around in the class. I touch the guy's ass. Rotate your hip there. Like, I don't know if what I'm doing is gooder or better or worse or this. I don't know. I am who I am, yes? And I teach in a way that I feel is the best way to do for me.
Yeah.
Like that's what I like about Bruce Lee, for example. What is martial artist? Is the honest way to express yourself. You know, everybody says this. Like, it's like in interviews like Jiu Jitsu or like Jeet Kune Do is the most honest way how to express yourself. So every time we say I'm the best this, I'm the best this, it's like saying you're God. So literally saying you're all there is. No. My honest way to express myself in this art as a teacher is, I think my strength is mechanical jiu-jitsu, like making good mechanics. Okay, why? Because why I like it? Because I think that makes jiu-jitsu safer. If I do fitness, for example, should I let people through years and years and years of experience, explore themselves. What is good shape? What is good posture?
Oh, and then they get
And get
injured.
injured. So no, but also don't think it's the best way to say, hey, this is what you do. No. So how do
You
you
have
do?
to find the
I do
why.
organic.
You have to
I will
find
say,
the
okay,
reason.
man, if you do weight training, okay, guess you get a lightweight and squat 10 times. How does your back feel?
Yeah.
Because also, it's not, you don't have to do a perfect squat with a perfect, like sometimes it's okay to pick up your bag around, that's what life is. You don't have to be perfect always, yeah? But it's also a natural way of moving, yeah? But you maybe, okay, let's experience, let people experience the bad squat with a lightweight first. And then tell them, hey, this is a perfect squat. Okay, so you go, bad squat, perfect squat. And now find your way, you know? And if you have ultimate energy, you can probably adjust every person in the perfect way. And if you keep doing it, they also lose all interest in the sport. Try to tell your girl, no, don't do this, don't do this. I used to be that teacher. No, 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 no. And people go, what the fuck do I do now? Huh?
Yeah, this.
So it's also not good. You have to learn through the game. But the game then has to be fun and safe.
Yeah.
So that's why actually, now, if we go completely to the end of it, what is life, man? It's about play. The moment you take yourself too serious in anything, it stops being fun.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
they're not gonna do it.
And what is a game? What is a game actually? What is a game? A game is fun. It's safe to play. There are some rules to make it safe and more fun. So what is the rule? What are the rules? Well, don't kill anyone. You know, it's not like we're living in a real, GTA,
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
can.
yeah, I
We
was
don't really
thinking.
like. It would be fun for like imagine you play GTA. Yeah, if it's fun to go like kill everybody on the street and go or play God mode and get a cheat code. But like, how long does it last? It's fun. At some point, you want to play the story.
Yeah.
What is a story? Whatever you want, yeah. So you create your own story. It's like a sandbox, in
Yeah.
life, yeah. So and the same with teaching. So if you do jiu-jitsu in the gym, okay, what is organic approach? I would say, okay, let's say I have Malolos on the mat, black belt. How many years of experience? 30 years of experience. How many years in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. Since 2007. Whatever. Yes.
Yeah, oh, many years of experience. Black belt. Okay. So what is the best experience for a white belt? Or for any belt in the gym? Listen to Wim's whining for 3 hours for the 20th time in a row? Or here it is, Manolis, have a roll, and he will tell you something. That's probably the best. It's probably,
Yeah.
man. I don't care. Like,
If you can connect a habit, it's like it's a book like 1%. Something like a book I read, but I don't remember the title. 1%. If you connect something that you want to do, like something that it makes you tired, if you connect it to something that it's you enjoy doing, then
Yeah.
you're gonna do it. Like for example, if you like you don't want to, let's say, read a book, whatever, but you enjoy chewing some marshmallows. You can read your book while you're chewing your marshmallows. So it's gonna be like a habit connected to a habit that you're not willing to do with a habit that you enjoy. So you're gonna do it most likely. Yeah. So it's quite the same what you're saying, like like to enjoy the training,
yeah.
having fun instead of having someone
Yeah, of
pointing
course.
the finger
Yeah.
all the time to you.
But all I get was like this look. So also look. So for me, if I have like people in the gym, I have Manolis on the mat, and I have like in my gym Jeroen and Shai and Rafael. Okay, so 5-6 good people.
Yeah.
What is a better way to spend? I can now. Okay, let's say today the goal is to get from half guard and try to go to mount, and I can now show you 20. I will tell you in big lines. That's what I do. Go. But reality is, how do you move? Well, depends, man. If you're in the water, depends where the water comes from and what happens, yeah? So, we now do organically. What we're gonna do? We make rounds, one time top, one time bottom, switch partner. Okay. And then I say, okay, anytime you fight, okay, don't smash everybody as a smash, try to learn for everyone, and maybe like, every once in a while give each other a tip. And you put like 40 minutes on a timer, we're only gonna do
Positional sparring as well.
positional rule.
Yeah, you always have like
yeah.
upper belts giving tips.
Yeah,
Which
and
is
actually people look and then look and because I always the problem. Okay, day one I teach step one, day two step two, and then step three like half the people miss step one because I never showed up in the first class. Yeah,
Yeah, but
So,
you have
yeah.
people that they actually showed up, so they
Yes.
showed to them.
but also look, there is different ways to look about it. Yeah, so there is different ways that people. I don't know my way is the best. I think my way is good. don't think it's gooder than someone else's. I think it's the best because it's my way.
It's your, but you can see it like in the long run, like how effective, like what's the progress of the group. If you
Yeah,
see
but
progress,
also like progress. How you measure progress?
if somebody is like in 2 months from now is getting significantly better,
But but I find it very hard to couch in a group. You know why? Because the whole group gets better. The person,
also, yeah. Maybe open mats or maybe going to the tournaments, but then it's adrenaline, so you don't really know if you
some
get
good people in
players
the gym get smashed in a good tournament all the time.
turn, yeah. Maybe if they are on an open mat with a guy that they never rolled before.
Yeah.
So
And if someone gets defensively good and never tap anyone, it's also hard to tell. The guy keeps getting smashed, but he gets now smashed slower. It's like to be honest,
it's thin line. Yeah.
me with my eyes, I cannot really see progress. I can feel progress. Like as a coach, I have to roll with my guys.
Yeah. So you feel them like.
I always roll, and I have to feel the person what he's doing in the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only
But
if he wins, but does he win safely? Does he have regard for me when I roll? Does he look with a good timing? Does he? How is he mentally? You know, it goes way deeper. I don't know man, what is the exact formula to do that. Yeah. But all I know is like I think if you mix your group, let everybody roll with everybody. Like I don't want to split my guys from beginners and advanced either, because first off, from a business perspective, some people can train at night, some people can train in the morning. I want people to be able to train every day.
yeah.
And also, like as a black belt, I want to roll with beginners. How do you train self-defense? Go to complete berserk beginner day one. That's self-defense. So beginner from beginner should not be meeting each other.
Yeah, of course, because they're Spazi, they can. Some of them are
The
Spazi,
blackest
so they can
belt
do themselves.
should roll with the whitest belt.
Yeah.
And the intermediate people should roll with each other.
Yeah.
And the most dangerous belt is purple versus purple. Because they have the ability without the mindset.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
That makes sense.
That's it. And brown belts, well, what do I know? Like depends, but definitely purple belt are the most dangerous assholes. You
I
know?
think so.
Aren't they?
Yeah, now that you're saying, it's like,
Yeah, the skills
purple
without the
belts,
mindset.
Skills, yeah. Not the mindset, or in a way that, they should be, not to injure each other in a way because they're more competitive in a way and they try to prove something.
It's also when you make your name.
Yeah,
Definitely
the
purple.
tournaments, yeah.
The purple is the make or the break.
And sometimes, yeah,
Everybody
sometimes
can
the
win white
purple
and
belts
blue.
you see like all the time, like purple belts winning tournaments against black belts.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But also like man, the white and the blue belt, everybody
Everybody doesn't expect
most-
so much from them.
most
from them,
people can win locally white and blue belt tournaments.
Yeah.
Not everybody can win at purple, brown, or black. That's like a few.
It's elite divisions.
More
yeah.
selective, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. So yeah, like what approach do we use? Yeah. So yeah, ecologically in games sometimes. Every once in a while, man, I'm gonna complete it mechanically and deductive and like and very deep into one thing, and then also depends on your group who's there that day. Who knows? But ultimately, man, if you want to make a name for yourself and you give your beast a name and you say this is the next thing and become controversial,
Yeah,
then a
they
whole
try
group,
to attract some.
then a whole
some
group will suck your dick and the whole group will hate you. And man, one of the biggest things I learned, like, I follow this guy. No knees over toes guy.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. And he made a post. Look, I said like I noticed something on social media. I said, look, if you look overall, all the videos go viral. Look at the comments. It's like, for example, a video making, for example, the best way to train your
But
biceps.
yeah, that's alliance. The new kind of that's media. That's media.
Best way to make
Yes.
triceps. Okay, grow biceps. The two best exercises. In the comments, no, it's not the best way. Yes, it is the best way. No, my way is better. And
But
people-
that attracts. Yeah, that attracts
negative,
people.
negative,
Yeah.
negative.
Yeah.
Look, so that's the kind of comment always goes viral.
Yeah.
It's not about. Fortunately, it says so. This kind of content. It's not about information. It puts negativity into a world, and people, keyboard warriors, and hating each other, and probably even bots arguing with each other.
The posts that are engaging, they're staying on.
But
forever.
negative engagement, yeah. So then he says like the post. He says that like my most viral post ever was Michael Courier. I filmed him, yeah. In a specific way of tying his belt,
Okay.
and I was wearing a shirt at the same time of a boot smashing a swastika. And I made the video, the American way of tying the belt, and I put Sweet Home Alabama, like on the song. Okay. So the comments, man. I got 1 million views. Yeah? So it said, because let's see, because I know like tying the belt, how to tie the belt, it always goes viral. Yeah? I saw most of the comments. That's not the American way. It's a Japanese way. It's not a good way. It's a bad way. Oh, that motherfucker has a swastika. He's a Nazi. Yeah, you. And then, oh, a fucking boots him and a swastika. He's a, how you call that? Like an Antifa. But nobody was talking. It's all negative, 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 negative. Like,
and that's why you
and I get like a lot of followers. What kind of followers? Like negative cocksuckers. You know.
Yeah.
Nobody really was like contributing anything
For the
positive.
past, yeah,
What the fuck?
of
And
course.
probably like even bots. Yeah. And then then this guy said, this ATG guy, like Patrick Pull. Okay, but the foreigner said, oh my, one of my best videos was, look what I did to cure my mom's back pain. Like really good, awesome, nice. That's the kind of content I want to make. And so this time for the last 2-3 months I didn't make any content. Why? First off, because I had like the epiphany. I should spend time with my girls when I don't have the time to do it. That's number one. But I will still occasionally make a video when I have to say something. But I will never make anything anymore to please the algorithm. I will never do that again.
Yeah.
Because why? For money. I'm not saying like I'm millionaire.
But you
I
have
have enough. I have enough. I eat, I drink, I travel. My girls can do whatever they like. What else do you need? Life is good, yeah?
Yeah.
Rules are good. So what else do you need, yeah? And two, where was I going? Yeah, if I can make content to help someone. That's good.
Yeah.
So that's like, also check out that Chris Jones channel, or Chris Bones, one of the two.
Jones, you said.
Jones or Bones.
Oh,
Anyway, good channel. It's like really, like he's got his own style. It's like in the beginning I was not sure, but like, okay, it's funny, it's good, and it's good stuff. So that helps people, I think, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the good content, I think, yeah.
to give to the society and be helpful.
Yeah, not make it about clickbait, the best thing ever. This
To cleanse your arse.
don't do clickbait. It's like giving sugar. It's like literally what I sell you. Chips in the store, they sell you chips because once you eat one chip, you cannot stop eating chips.
Of course.
So then don't do that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
bad.
And this is some sort of way with the ecological approach, you'd say, like.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's like a valuable tool.
Yeah. If
It
you
should
use it
not.
right.
It should be seen as a tool. Like I cannot bash it. And like and also for the people who go into it, I think it's cool they go into it because in the end, like maybe it's the best thing, you know. Like maybe let's dive into it, and after a while, see, I think it's more nuanced because in my experience, everything else I ever experienced was nuanced.
Yeah.
Every time I saw like I invented the warm water. Now after a while, I see now it's actually mediocre water. It's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe they'll come to the same conclusion, or maybe it is the very best thing, but then they have to announce it.
Wait and find out.
Wait and find
It's
out.
been done forever. I mean, it's been done before.
Probably,
Like, with
Kid
different
Dale
games.
did it,
And
yeah.
Kid Dale with task-based games, I think, or even before. I mean, would you let guys like doing positional sparring with resistance and find out ways to deal with cope with new data? Like
Nah.
you.
And one thing I know from back in the day, right? Back in school, like so there's a teacher, right? There is two things I remember. There's only two things. It's like no, ever over Lev Vygotsky.
No.
Like was like a psychologist or detective. Like how to learn. Yeah, it's the zone of proximal development. It means very easily is actually if you do something that is too difficult, you get discouraged, you never try to do it.
Yeah.
And if it's too easy, you also don't do it. So you have to work in the zone where you can't fail but still can succeed. If you look at video games, the algorithms these days are made in such a way that like people do like shooters
Yeah.
and they make teams that you win 60% of the match. Sometimes you get like a group with noobs and with good guys. If you win 60% of the matches, you keep addicted.
You do,
It's good for
yeah.
motivation. So that's proximal development.
Yeah.
You can't fail, you can win. You don't always win, you don't always fail. That's why sometimes really champions they drop out.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
Too easy.
So then and the second thing I remember was, you learn like 10% of what you hear, 20% of what you see, 30%, you know,
Yeah.
ultimately you learn the most of what you do, and the very best is learning from teaching others.
Yeah.
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 So what to do in your gym? Maybe you're black belts, maybe all your good guys should get better. You give them some guidelines. You do whatever. I've really struggled to come up with stupid games. Like, because I was like, I come up with a game. Yeah, but can I do this shit? Just, what the fuck do I care? And I'm like when all these people come up with ways to jinx it. Yeah, like if 20 people like all have to scream, it's like okay. Like last class when I teach before I left to Crete was like, I call it like a collar sleeve. Control the elbow,
Yeah.
keep it through the hip. Do not sweep. Just try to keep the guard.
Yeah.
2 seconds in, do butt sweep. Why are you sweeping? Yeah, really feel that. Fuck off, man. You do not sweep. Just keep your foot there forever. I cannot do it. That's a freaking point. I want the experience not to be able to do it forever. And then we get out on that. Because why can you not do it? Because your foot is wrong. Because your mechanics suck. Oh, you think I suck? Yes, you suck. And then, oh, my wife goes, you cannot talk to clients like that. But after a while I can, you know what I mean?
Thanks for coming.
Thank you all for having me.
And of course, it's not the last time because we just back and forth all the time.
Oh, by the way, we should say like how do we get back in touch? This is a funny story actually. We should say we kept in we got contact first time 15 years ago I think.
Yeah.
Then sometimes talked to each other, but never got to hit each other again. And then Manoli said, you know what? Screw this, I'm going to Belgium for a 1 day.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and then we got in touch again. We start talking, and you did the camp, and now I come to Crete. Yeah. And the fun thing is, man, like I come here just because I want to be here. For me, it's like vacation, and that's it. Good times. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
We have a good time.
Exactly.
It's not gonna be the last, of course.
I hope so.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Thank you.